What's up, everybody? It's Dave Fernape here, and I am the coach of the Cobalions du Montreal, the Montreal Cobalions. I am their coach in the NPL. Our first season after last year, we had to take over for the Seattle Seadras, and that was not a fun time. I didn't get to draft my team, but this year I did. So, welcome, everybody. I'm going to be going over my draft. First, I'm going to want to talk about everybody else's drafts because everybody else's drafts was scary and mine was just like blah, 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 blah. But week one I'm playing against the St. Louis Reshiram's. So yeah, that's you get to see me lose to Salamence. Yay. And there's some other threats like I was just wanted to show off everybody's teams. Please, 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 please. There we go. Yeah, we have New York, Washington, Portland, Toronto, bleh, Toronto, bleh, Oakland, Colorado, Atlanta, Manatee City, Phoenix, St. Louis, and San Antonio with their respective megas. That's Dallas boy. I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna say, "You smell good." No, no, good. And now my team, the Montreal Cobalions, right here. So I got to pick first overall. So obviously the first Mega that I'm going to pick is Mega Charizard X, who I named PK Subban. Um, Obviously it's a threat. There's nothing, you can't say anything else about it besides the fact that it is a threat. Mega Charizard X is super strong, super powerful. I can Dragon Dance. I can run certain moves. Like I can run. I don't want to say what I'm gonna run versus you know, St. Louis Matty Brawlick next week. But there's just moves that I can run that are gonna help me a lot. Its move pool doesn't look too good, but it does have some hidden gems in its move set that it could use that are kind of underestimated. And but obviously by far is the best Mega. It can Dragon Dance, it can Swords Dance, it could be bulky, it could substitute, it could Will-O-Wisp, it could Flare Blitz, it can do anything. Um, and then we have Weavile, who I franchise picked from last season. I had Weavile in the Seattle Seadras team, and it was really good. It was definitely by far one of my best Pokemon, besides another Pokemon I'm gonna get into on my team. Um, it was really powerful. Um, yeah, it was. I like how fast it is. I like how I can run priority and ice shard. So stuff like Staraptor and let's say Salamence that I mentioned before isn't that threatening because even if that Salamence is at plus 200 speed, even though that's not possible, even if it's at plus 6 speed, Weavile comes in and can ice shard it. And even with the Yachi Berry, I'm pretty sure it still does a decent amount. It still does a lot. I mean, it's an ice shard, and it's still, I believe, partially super effective. I'm pretty sure because it's both dragon and flying. So I'm pretty sure it works that it's just 2 times super effective instead of 4 times super effective, which is huge. Threats. Like I mentioned before, Staraptor. There was another bird. There was another scary bird. Landorus, of course. Stuff like Amoonguss, Bliss or Chansey rather, and even Blissey. Like I like Knockoff. Knockoff is really powerful. Icicle Crash can flinch. Yay, hacks. Um, it's just such a powerful Pokemon, and I got it first overall, which is great because the way that I draft, I like, because I pick my Mega Pokemon first, but then I pick Weavile, or I pick first overall, like here I can show you the draft. Basically, it's a snake draft. So as you can see, I pick Mega Charizard X first, and then I don't get to pick here, but the franchise pick I pick beforehand. So it doesn't matter where I pick, I'm going to have Weavile because I have rights to it. Sort of like a UFA, unrestricted free agent, or rather restricted free agent. I'm stupid. yeah, a restricted free agents where the team has more rights to the agent, to the player rather. So obviously doesn't matter where I pick. I had Weavile because I said beforehand Weavile is my franchise pick, which basically means that you get to keep a Pokemon from last year. As you can see, Phoenix used it on Manaphy. You know, Atlanta used it in Kyurem Black. Oakland used it on Vaporeon, which let's get it, Richard. And then Toronto on Clefable because Jolt is fat. Yeah, yeah, that's can't expect Toronto to be good. Bleh. JK. And then, Washington used it on Heatran, New York on Victini, and I use it on Weavile, and then Suicune and Tangrowth because Tangrowth and Suicune are fat. So, luckily, I'm pretty sure if I didn't pick Weavile here, it would probably get picked up here. Like, somebody here would have picked it, so. And then, my next pick, as you can see, is Excadrill. If I can go back to the dock, which works really well because basically one of my division rivals got Gardevoir, which beats both Mega Charizard X and Weavile, and Excadrill in general is good for fairies, it's good for, rock types or ground types or anything. I like Iron Head for flinching. That's primarily why I like it. But I like it because it can definitely do a lot to Mega Gardevoir. Earthquake does a lot. Choice Banded Excadrill is powerful. Choice Scarf Excadrill, Life Orb, it can set up, it can be defensive. I also needed a spinner, which I got in that. So definitely like having Excadrill. Also, I named Weavile Carry Price because he's gonna carry me like Carry Price does, even though Carry's injured and now we're losing. Of course, wonderful. Um, and then I named Excadrill Brendan Gallagher. I don't know why, but I just did. Maybe because Excadrill is fast and gets in everybody's way and checks the goaltender. Yeah, that's why. And then we have Keldeo, which obviously works really well because I definitely need a water type because opposing water types, number one, two, it's good against dark types, um, and can get rid of counters to some of my team. It works really well, especially with the fighting stab. It's really good Pokemon. It's obviously really fast. I could have gotten Starmie, which in hindsight I think I should have, just because a Psychic type would have really helped a lot. But no, Kildeo's still really it's good defensive. It can be used physically defensive with Calm Mind. It can be used offensively. It can be used Specs, Scarf, Swords Dance, Close Combat, Choice Band. Yeah, that's a set. And then named it Alex Galchenyuk because Chucky. And then next we have Ferrothorn because Ferrothorn definitely, for flying types, I had a weakness to flying types. I also had a weakness to like electric type. Well, not really electric types, but it caps my team off really well. It does. It helps a lot. I wanted Hippowdon actually, just because number one, Sand with the Excadrill is going to be good. It's got Stealth Rocks. It can whirlwind Pokemon out. But Ferrothorn what I like about Ferrothorn is I don't like a lot. As you can tell by my draft, I don't really like defensive Pokemon too much, just because I don't like how they could be used as setup fodder. Like I don't like how Gligar can be used as setup fodder. I don't like that, even though I drafted it. I don't like that about defensive Pokemon, which you can tell I like offense because I feel like somebody can't sit there and set up on me. That I can't. That you know, if somebody picks the right Pokemon to go into after I kill a Pokemon, then I lose. I don't like that. I like Pokemon that aren't like that. And Ferrothorn, obviously, um, not that many things like to set up on it. Even if it's got substitute, Gyro Ball most likely breaks it. Um, Power Whip, Thunder Wave. Pokemon, if it's physical, is going to be taking recoil damage because of the iron barbs on a run Rocky Helmet. That in itself makes it so a lot of Pokemon that are physical, the other coach won't want to hit me with it just because they don't want to get that what is it 24%. They don't want to get 24% in recoil damage if I'm running a Rocky Helmet, and if they have Life Orb, if they're using like Talonflame or something, and they use Infernape and Flare Blitz me, they're like, I don't know what's that like. It's gonna be like up to maybe 60% in recoil damage. So I like how Ferrothorn, even though it's defensive, can get up rocks, can get up spikes. It It's not setup fodder, honestly. I mean, it could be used as setup fodder. Realistically, anything can be used as setup fodder if the right Pokemon with the right EVs with the right moves come in at the right time. But I like how Ferrothorn doesn't just sit there and is like, yeah. Um, and it also works pretty well with my team. I like having a grass type. It's a nice flying resist. It's also a nice fairy resist. Um, and then at this point, I want something that can defog. Obviously, I have a spinner, but hazards are still a problem. So I like having a defogger. Even though the move defog I don't like as much as the move rapid spin, progressively more people are using it, and obviously, basically just having another alternative to a ghost type is good, because you can't spin on a ghost type, and also spin. It's There's certain situations where you won't want to use it, but defog definitely is going to come in handy. Mandibuzz last year actually had more kills than Mega Charizard X, and I used Mandibuzz. Um, Somebody else used Charizard X. It was Ashley, the Detroit Pincers, used it, and I actually got just as many kills, and I think in like half as many games, if I remember correctly. So definitely wanted to pick Mandibuzz up. I don't know why it did that. Probably just because so many people tried to set up on it, and then I had Toxic and Foul Play. Again, Mandibuzz isn't setup fodder. But for some reason I don't like it on my team. It's just there's other Pokemon that I would rather, which literally like the top part of my draft, like Mega Charizard X, Weavile, Excadrill, Keldeo, Ferrothorn, I honestly couldn't be happier with. I mean, maybe Ferrothorn I could have gotten Hippowdon, but still, I'm really happy with Ferrothorn. And then like the bottom half of my draft, I was kind of like, come on, everything I wanted kept getting picked. Starting from Ferrothorn down, everything I wanted got picked. Well, not maybe not everything, but like as you can see, the draft from my other choices was interesting. So Mandibuzz, it was there, it was just chilling, it was in my face, and I was like, hey, you know what? It's a dark type. Um, Even though it's not a fighting resist, it could still, or a flying resist, it's still there. It does add to my stealth rock weaknesses, but at the same time, it can defog and, bleh, excuse me, friends, I love you. Um, it can it can still do work. I mean, I did work with it last year. It did just as good as Mega Charizard X, and you know, it was even a free agent. I'm pretty sure. So I honestly, I like the Pokemon. It's really good. And so, oh yeah, I named Ferrothorn David Desharnais. Even though now that I think about it, that makes no sense because Ferrothorn is not really small like Desharnais is. But you know what? You guys smell bad. JK, you smell wonderful. And then I named Mandibuzz and Andre Markov because I don't know. Mandibuzz seems old, so you know what? Whatever. It's still doing better than everything else, just like Markov. And then next we got Lars Eller, the Nidoking. Um, I picked Nidoking up because I just always wanted to try a Nidoking out. It's basically like a walking Landorus, and I like that. I like Nidoking. Number one, its move pool is delicious. It gets like Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Fire Blast, Earth Power, Sludge Wave. It can be physical too with sheer force. I mean, honestly, not that many things like switching into it. I don't like running Scarf or Specs with it. I rather like Life Orb, especially because sheer force. But um, it definitely works with Scarf or Specs or Choice Bandit, even if that's my case. It could be physical. Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, Earthquake and Poison Jab. Yeah, physical is not even that bad. So people prepare for a special Nidoking, and then bop, there's the physical attack, and you're done. I really like Nidoking. Even though I don't think it's done too much work in any league that I've seen. It hasn't really done anything, but I want to change that. I want to use Nidoking for sweeping. Basically, it's really strong Pokemon. It's ridiculous, powerful. And pretty underrated in my opinion. So yeah, that works with the name Lars Eller. In my opinion, Lars Eller is underrated. He had a beauty yesterday versus Washington, even though we still lost because Mike Condon was like, yeah, because Carey Price is injured. He just let it go right through his pads. He's like, yeah, just no welcome. I mean, in his defense, it was redirected, but whatever. Come on, Condon, come back, Carey Price, please, we need you. Please come back. Um, Next we have Granbull, Thomas Mechanics because Granbull is a veteran just like Plecky, and Granbull always seems mad just like Mechanics, just salty at all times. But that's not why I named it that. I just named it that because I named it that. But I named all my Mons after Montreal Canadiens players, if you couldn't tell. Um, Granbull, obviously, it's been a veteran in a lot of leagues. A lot of people have used it. I think Shady Penguin uses it like a lot in the GBA and in the UCL. Last year, Dallas used it, and for me at least, it was a thorn in my side. It's really powerful, actually. It can be used offensively and it can be used defensively. And again, I like it how it's not setup fodder. I like that. I don't like Pokemon that are just setup fodder. It annoys me. It makes me sad. It's like I feel like the Pokemon's unreliable. So I like that. So I like how Granville can have Thunder Wave. It could have. I'm pretty sure it learns Wish and that shenanigan. Um, I'm sure it learns Toxic. It definitely learns Play Rough. Oh, I just hit my computer screen. Whoopsie. Um, it learns other moves too. It's really powerful Pokemon, and with the ability Intimidate, it's great. I like it. It could be special. It could be physical. It could be Assault Vest. It could be multiple things. So I like Grand Bull a lot, and I'm glad I picked it up. Um, I actually wanted Cresselia rather, but yeah, that was taken from my grasps by I believe Togavor, which upset me. But what are you gonna do about it? So next I have Superior, which I don't understand how it dropped so low. How I picked it up in the 10th round as my, or rather my 10th pick. Yeah, in the 10th round. I don't know how it dropped so far, honestly. Um, to me, it made no sense how nobody would pick it. Um, again, I don't know. Um, honestly, I don't even want it on my team. It doesn't work too well. I mean, yes, it's a very fast Pokemon. It's another grass type, so water is not a weakness to me at all. But I don't know. It doesn't. I felt like I kind of just picked it because I picked it. Honestly, I should have probably picked Heliolisk because Heliolisk works really, really well with my team. Honestly, Heliolisk would cap my team off great, but I didn't pick it. I opted for Superior because those two Pokemon were in front of me, and I was like, Superior is obviously better, so I'll pick that up. And then, literally just right afterwards, Jolt picked Heliolisk, and I said, well, I should have picked it up. And then I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, I don't need Superior. I don't know what I'm doing with it. Um, obviously, I need a grass, or rather, I need an electric type. Now that I look at my team, I need an electric type. Heliolisk could have done really well because not only is it fast, but honestly, it could switch into water types. Even if an Ice Beam, yeah, an Ice Beam will do so much, but it can switch into water types. It can Volt Switch, it can Thunderbolt, it can Grass Knot, it can Surf, it could Focus Blast, it could Hidden Power into Oblivion. It could do so many different things. And honestly, it would actually make my life against the next, or like this entire like season really easy because it worked so well with my team. And I didn't pick it up, and I went to go Um, honestly, I just straight up said, "Hey, I'll give anybody superior," and then what? Like I said, like, "Oh, it's up for trade." I put it on the trade block, and then Toronto was like, "Oh, I'm willing to give up Breloom for superior," and then I was like, that doesn't help me at all." Like, I mean, I didn't say like in a rude way. I'm just saying like it doesn't it's not. That's not really what I'm looking for. But thank you though. And Jolt is the one who picked up Heliolisk. And I'm like, hey, Heliolisk, and he's like, no way, I can't do that, man. So, um, but yeah, I named it Max Pacioretty because hopefully it'll put in work. Hopefully, I'll try to get a use for it. Honestly, if I can trade it for Thunderous, I would be so happy. It's not even funny. I would really love Thunderous on this team. But either of the Thunderouses, honestly, Priority Thunderwave and just the other one being fast and offensive is just perfect. But honestly, like I don't know. I don't know why I picked up Superior. Honestly, Heliolisk was better, but Superior is just such a good Pokemon that when I saw it go far like this down low, I was like, how? How do you not want it? Also, Talonflame went down really low. Nobody wanted Talonflame. I'm like, guys, come on. Really? I mean, I couldn't pick it up because I had Mega Charizard X. That's something I would never do. I'm not that bad at this game, but yeah. Then we have Gligar again, a pick. Like I said, I didn't really. I mean, it works. It's honestly, it's pretty good. But the problem is, again, I don't like Pokemon that are setup fodder. I don't like it. It upsets me. I'm pretty sure maybe Gligar gets like Whirlwind or Roar or something, or like a phasing move. I'm sure it does, but um, I just I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't really want it, even though it's really good and it's probably better than Mandibuzz, like fitting my team wise. Just I don't like setup fodder. I don't like it. Even though it can switch into Pokemon, and I don't know if I'll bring it week one or not. I don't want to say, but honestly, I'm still thinking about it. Still making my team for week one. Um, I don't know. It's it's a meh Pokemon. Again, that's something else I'm willing to trade. Gligar and Mandibuzz and Superior are both like, are all three of them are on my block, my trade block. Willing to trade those Pokemon to anything. Any coach wants them, and you want to give me Thunders. If you want to give me Thunders, if you want to give me Thunders, thank you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, friends. I'm sorry. I love you. Um, yeah. Honestly, that's wonderful. But yeah, and I named it Nathan Beaulieu because it's a rookie. And finally, we have. I gotta fix my headset after that one. We have Slowbro, named Alexi Emlyn. I like Slowbro a lot. I don't know how it was just not drafted. I was like, what? That's just why I picked it because it was just not drafted, and I was a little confused. So I picked it, and honestly, instead of Slowbro, I would have picked Machamp or Hariyama, one of those. And then everybody was like, "There's a Slowbro," and it does fit my team really well because it gives me a Psychic type. It gives me a more defense. It's basically like a more defensive Starmie, but at the same time, this thing is offensively powerful. It can run so many different moves. Its move set, its move pool is delicious, to say the least. It's got a great move pool. It can do wonderful things. It can honestly, it could be so many different sets that it's just really powerful. So I'm glad I got it. But at the same time, I don't know. It's just you got 12 slots and then 13 Pokemons that you Pokemons Pokemons. You have 12 slots and there's 13 Pokemon that you want. So it's hard and I don't know. I was really happy with the way my draft started and then it kind of finished weak. But at the same time, I feel like if I maneuver my Pokemon well, I'll honestly have the best team in the NPL. Again, I'll show you everybody else's team. I legit think that if I can, move my team well, like just I'll slowly just go over, you know, obviously New York Mets are scary looking, but I mean, you look after they stole Cobalion from my grasps in my hands, you thieves. After Victini, Suicune, Thundurus, T, Cobalion, not that scary. For Alligator and Toxicroak are scary threats, but I mean, I don't know. You feel like it's not. Yeah, they're threats, but they're not terrifying Pokemon. and then you have Washington Charizards. Like, I'm not trying to say that teams are bad, but I'm saying, like, you have the Washington Charizards again after the picks, up to it's like there's nothing scary. I mean, yeah, there's defensive beasts. I mean, yeah, Snorlax. You've got Taft. You have it, but it's not. I'm not terrified. I don't think. Yeah, that's a threat I have to look out for. I mean, even for Portland, I mean, they go down to I'm sorry, Terrakion. They have Cresselia, Terrakion, Zapdos, Garchomp, Azumarill, Mega Gardevoir, but like, I don't know. When I look at my team, I see things that people have to plan for. I mean, nobody's gonna plan for Gligar except for like, yeah, HBIs, GG. But like, other Pokemon you have to plan for. You have to be prepared for. I feel like, okay, well, Toronto successfully does this. They also achieve this because Clefable, Jirachi, Tentacruel, Gliscor, Breloom, Talonflame, Lucario, Heliolisk, you horses, Sneasel, Sneasel, Wobbuffet, Megalodios, what, why, why, why? Who does this stuff? I mean, yeah, they're threatening, but I mean, you look at like other teams that, they don't scare you. Their last picks don't terrify you. They don't scare you. You know, I mean, well, Phoenix picked up Sunkern, so I'm pretty scared. I'm not gonna lie. I'm I'm pretty scared. Honestly, I think like besides like my team, I think St. Louis probably does this the best, where their blast picks are scary. Like Fortress, I have to plan for. You can't just be like, "Hey, it's a Fortress." You actually have to bring like something with an HP fire. You have to be prepared for that thing. Crawdon, of course, you have to have preparation for Crawdon. You have to have preparation for the crab. Bleh. Mega Gyarados, obviously. Scary Infernape, Tyranitar, Azelf, Amogus, Elements, Bronzong, Stoutland, Koff, Grigas. I mean, they're threatening. And I feel like this is the only other team besides me that actually does this like ridiculously well, where their last Pokemon, their last pick, is a scary Pokemon that you have to plan for. I mean, I'm planning for Cardon. Look at Cardon, and then look at my team, and I have to face that week one. So I feel like my team, if I maneuver it correctly, is scary. But I don't like that color. I don't like that. Yeah, yeah, that one. Yeah. I don't like that blue. I don't like that blue. I don't like that blue. I like that blue. Yeah. There we go, guys. Now we're gonna get first place. Now we're gonna use our Pokemon well and become the scariest team. Allez, Montreal. Let's go, boys. Go, Habs, go. We're gonna win this season. We're not gonna have a losing record like last time. We're gonna smell good, boys. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm sorry that I smell bad. Dallas boy smells like beef, and and the Toronto, the Toronto Maple Leafs are bad. I love you.